Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is your daily go getimism number 765 for November 6, 2016. All right, so tonight we're talking about leaving your problems at work or leaving your problems at home when you're at work. A lot of people have different personalities at work than they do at home. And to me, it's justifiable because when you go to fill out an application for a job, or if you fill it out online and then you send in your resume, you don't really put your personal life on your resume. You put your personal professional life on your resume. You know, you don't put your personal life on your resume because they don't really care. The place of employment only cares that you can make them money. So you're going to put all the things on your resume that shows how much money you can make a company. That's why you get hired. So for anybody who doesn't understand that you only get hired in order to make a company money, you need to really understand that. They're not hiring you because you're cute. They're not hiring you because you need a job. They're not hiring you to help out with unemployment. They're not hiring you for any other reason other than for you to make them into millionaires. Or if they're already millionaires, to help make them into billionaires. That's how it goes. So they don't care about your personal life. Now, for you personally, being as though you go to work to act professionally, you're probably going to act professionally. A lot of times people go to work not to be professional, but to actually form cliques and to form groups and to hang out and be part of a social scene and, be all clicked up and have this us against them type of attitude. And they normally have a lot of problems associated with that because places of employment don't really appreciate that. So it's a good thing to separate your personal life from your professional life, but not everybody does it. So a lot of people don't do it. And it's okay to a certain extent. You're going to meet, I'll say this. If you're going to meet good friends, what's wrong? There's probably nothing wrong with meeting them in a professional setting because those people are disciplined to a certain degree. You know that they're professional to a certain degree. You know that they are hardworking to a certain degree. You know that they are, if nothing else, they're about something. Or they wouldn't be able to keep their job. So those are the positives. On the flip side, for those who don't treat their professional life professionally, you can get caught up in a whole bunch of mucky mess and will have you really taking a lot of things that happen on your job personally and taking that personal professional life home to your wife and your kids, or your husband and your kids, your spouse and your children, or whatever the case may be. Bringing your personal professional life home to your family. It's not a good look. Because if you have a job that's stressful, if you're going through a lot of changes at your job, like maybe you got a promotion, so the same people you used to run around doing dirt with, goofing off with, rebelling against management with, now you are in a management position, so now you can't do what they do. As a matter of fact, you have to instruct them to now be disciplined. So they're looking at you sideways. It can cause you a lot of grief. It can cause you a lot of stress, sadness, because now you can't hang out with your friends anymore. The problem was your friends were at work when your friends should have been at home. Now, you wouldn't take your personal life from home into your job because that's not going to work. You do that enough times, you're not going to have a job. So if people from work people from home are calling your job constantly, asking where you are, causing fights, if they're coming up to your to your place of employment, making threats, having a profession that I love you and basically ruining your professional reputation, you're not going to have a job. It's necessary to separate the two. But here's the thing. Is it always easy to separate the two? Is it always something that you can be totally conscious of? Because some of the things that may happen at home may be almost impossible for you not to take to work. Like let's say you have a death in the family. You're going through a bitter divorce. A lot of times what happens with the whole divorce thing is you've already painted a picture of your happy marriage when you're at work. So when people don't see you talking about your spouse anymore, or they don't see those pictures of your spouse anymore, you've taken down those pictures that you used to have in your cubicle or in your office, or you've just been acting like a real bitch because of what's going on at home. So although you've been trying to mask what's been happening at home, it's not working out too well because you're snapping at people, you're bugging out at people, you're lashing out at people that don't deserve your wrath. You can wind up getting in a lot of trouble for that. But it's hard not to do it sometimes. You know, you don't. It's hard to just turn your emotions off like that. Believe me, I understand. But you have to do it. So should you be a totally different person at home than you are at work? What if you have a job like a police officer or some type of authoritative position where you have to tell people what to do and they have to do it? Does that mean that you act that way at home? Does your spouse and your children go for that kind of stuff? Does it cause them grief? Are you a totally unbearable person to be around? Or are you totally different at work than you are at home? Because I've heard stories about people like police officers, like military personnel, that when they come home, they are as submissive and as masochistic as they come. It's strange, but I've heard stories. I don't know. You know, I was going to say something that I really don't want to say. But I'm going to say it anyway. I was going to say, what if your job is like a stripper? Are you totally different at home than you are as an exotic dancer? Is it easy to separate that life? Is it even possible? I know a little bit too much about that. So I'm going to let y'all and people who know about that life answer that question themselves. But it's something that you have to consider. You know, there's some people who go to work to escape their home life. To me, that's a sad thing. But some people have so much crazy stuff going on at home that they'll sign up for they'll sign up for all of the overtime that you can give them. Not because they want to make that money, but because they don't want to go home. Maybe it's lonely at home. Maybe somebody has left them, or they just are antisocial in a certain type of way, or they are emotionally unavailable. And it's causing a lot of problems in their personal relationships. So they don't have anybody to go home to, and that makes them very lonely. Or the person that they come home to makes them feel alone, or makes them feel lonely. Because that's how bad the relationship is. So they stay at work all the time. They work. Anything to keep their mind off of what's going on at the crib. I know some people. You know some people? We know some people. Hopefully it's not you. I mean, because I would think that your home would be your place of solace, your place of escape. That's where you should be able to go to escape all of the craziness out there. There shouldn't be somebody at home waiting to hurt you, waiting to rob you, waiting to malign you in any kind of way. But that is some people's deal, and that's something that has to be dealt with. Cut and dry. There's so much more to this. I could probably go on for years, but I'll say this: in a professional setting, it's probably the best thing to do is to separate your home life from your professional life. Doesn't mean that you can't be friendly. Doesn't mean that you can't be gregarious. It doesn't mean that you can't hang out with your coworkers and all of that kind of stuff. But just make sure that they understand. And communication is the key when it comes to that. When people understand your expectations of them, and you, and then they can communicate their expectations of you. If everybody adheres to those expectations, everything should be alright. Doesn't mean that everything is going to be alright, but that's the way it's supposed to work out. Still, keep trying. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, separating your professional life from your personal life is usually necessary, because you wouldn't go into your place of employment telling all of your personal business, right? You know some people do that, right? Plenty of people do that. They go into work and they tell all of the crazy stuff that they did over the weekend. How they was doing volumes, or how they smoke so much weed, they stay high all the time. As a matter of fact, they just got finished getting high in the bathroom, but they get high so much that you wouldn't even know it. Crazy stuff, you know. All of these sexual exploits with their partner and their boyfriends or girlfriends. I said and, not or. And then people be mad when it comes back at them, like when the rumors start circulating about the way that they live, and then they mad. What you mad about? You told them everything, dummy. Listen to the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show every single day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Call in number 319-527-6199, or you can listen online, blogtalkradio.com/Sun752. Y'all have a great night. I'll holler back at y'all tomorrow. Peace.